Barbara and Miss Mott. I love it.
How you doing, Rosa?
I'm good. I'm good. Just working through the Monday here. Really excited for our story today.
Can you tell anything different about me?
Well, you're looking really nice. I see you have a little lip gloss on today.
I do. You're just making me feel so young. I was singing that song today. You'll make me feel so young, Rosa. How's your mother doing? Is she still on her cruise?
No, I did. I got a postcard from her yesterday, and she is on her cruise still. I think they're over in. I think they're all the way to Africa.
Oh, that's amazing.
I mean, Alaska to Africa. It was a fast boat.
Yeah. Well, Miss Mott, how are you? Did you have a great weekend?
Oh, what a great weekend with all this nice weather. Yes, I did. And you do look very young.
Thank you.
Like the people you're hanging out with really
it's kind of spreading to me. Yeah. Well, my granddaughter, Miss Miller, talked about this book this morning on the news, Curious George and the Ice Cream Surprise, and she passed it off to me, and I heard that that's what we're going to be reading this evening to our scholars. But I think we've got it on the screen. So you want to go ahead and share your screen?
I'd love to.
Oh, I loved Curious George.
Yeah, we selected this book because he's a funny little guy, and he likes to get into trouble. And I love these books because there are so many of them. And sometimes you just need like a little light read, little comical read. So this one is called Curious George and the Ice Cream Surprise. What order do we want to go in? I have Miss Mott on the screen, and then me, and then Rosa. Does that sound good?
Sure, that sounds wonderful.
All right, go ahead, Miss Mott. Get us started.
Sure. Curious George and the Ice Cream Surprise, Margaret and H.A. Ray. Ooh, and look at our buddy Curious George. He's in a resting pose, dreaming about ice cream. So awesome. George was a good little monkey and always very curious. One hot afternoon, he heard jingle, 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 jingle. What could that be? George was curious about the melody he heard coming in through the window.
Oh, I see some little music notes there.
Yeah, jingle.
That's an ice cream truck, George, said the man with the yellow hat. Summertime is here when you start hearing the music of the ice cream truck. George loved trucks, and he loved ice cream. Ice cream would taste so good on a hot day like today. He would find this wonderful ice cream truck right away. He started to climb out the window, but his friend stopped him. George had to finish his lunch first.
Oh, George.
Good idea. Eat your veggies first, George.
By the time George rushed out the door, the music was gone. Don't worry, George, the man said. Ice cream truck makes a trip around town each day, all summer long. We'll catch the ice cream truck tomorrow. That's a nice friend.
The next day, it got hotter and hotter. George waited for the ice cream truck. There was no sight or sound of it. Let's go to the pool, George, said the man with the yellow hat and the yellow bathing suit. George ran to get his towel. Splashing around in the pool would be a great way to beat the heat. But the pool was closed for renovation.
Oh.
Look on the bright side, George. By autumn, we'll have a larger pool with 3 diving boards. Won't that be fun? It did sound fun, but George needed to cool off now, not in the autumn.
So George went back to waiting for the ice cream truck. He dreamed of vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry ice cream bars. George thought he heard the music of the ice cream truck once, but it was just a little boy's harmonica. George and his neighbors decided to go to the park to run through the sprinklers. But just as they arrived, the sprinklers were turned off.
My goodness, George is facing a lot of disappointment.
Yeah.
It was a long walk back home. Luckily for George, there was lemonade waiting for him on the porch. George took a drink and made a face. It was warm. Sorry, George, the man with the yellow hat said. Our freezer has decided to stop working. All our ice cubes have melted. Now would be the perfect time to hear the sweet sound of the ice cream truck. Wait, what was that? Was that it? Yes, there was a truck turning the corner now.
Wave it down, George. I'll be right back with my wallet. The man rushed back into the house. But the ice cream truck driver could not see the little monkey on the curb. The truck was not driving very quickly, but it was driving away. George looked back at his house. He looked at the truck. Then he had an idea. Ooh, he always has the best ideas. I'm so curious what his idea is.
So curious.
George climbed a tree and swung from branch to branch until he swung right onto the roof of the truck. He rolled the truck into town. The truck stopped beside the town park. A window on the side opened up and a small child and her mother stopped to buy ice cream. George could not believe his eyes. The little girl had ordered a frozen treat that looked exactly like a chocolate-covered banana. George danced happily. He knew exactly what to order. The little girl saw him and laughed.
So many people wanted ice cream that the driver ran out of change. He hurried over to the nearby bank to get more. Meanwhile, George noticed that the ice cream line was getting very long. Everyone looked hot. There was no shade to stand in. Maybe he could help. George jumped down into the truck where it was dark and cool. He grabbed as many ice cream bars, cones, and ice pops as he could. He handed them out to the waiting children, their parents, and even their pets.
Ooh.
Oh my. I wonder how the ice cream man is going to feel about that.
George worked so quickly. He didn't remember to collect money for the ice cream. No one seemed to mind, except the ice cream man. What have you done? He cried when he returned. Half my ice cream is gone. George climbed up a telephone pole. George was very glad to see his friend hurrying toward Bart. Hold on a minute, said a voice below. Look at how everyone is enjoying themselves. It's been the hottest summer in town history. An ice cream social is exactly what we need.
It was the mayor, and she offered to pay for everyone's ice cream. Thank you, George, for your great idea. I think the town should sponsor an ice cream party every summer. The ice cream truck driver was happy to keep serving ice cream. George and the man with the yellow hat helped.
The ice cream man saved one last treat for George. A chocolate-covered banana sickle. Delicious. Wow.
Oh, that was delightful.
I just love how the man with the yellow hat is always so positive.
He is. And, George is always getting into mischief, but fortunately, he's got luck on his side because it always just seems to turn out right.
Yeah, that was a great story. Thanks for sharing it.
Yeah, so I know that next week we're going to be featuring some books. Miss Mott had a great book donation from someone. And so we're going to be featuring some books from there next week. But we hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of Barbara, Miss Mott, and Rosa. And we'll see you tomorrow on Live Lucky. Bye.